Forestry peace talks have moved into the political arena. The Premier's in Canberra tonight, holding talks with the Prime Minister about the transition out of native forest harvesting. But how much it's going to cost is not on the agenda.
The Premier's left for Canberra without his cap in hand. He says he won't be talking to the Prime Minister about money to restructure forestry in Tasmania, but he is prepared to rule out a big compensation package for timber giant Gunns.
The sort of flying the kite by the Liberals this week about $200 million for Gunns is absolutely ridiculous.
The talks in Canberra signal that the forestry agreement has moved into the political arena, and the Greens want a seat at the table.
The Greens will be expecting to be and will be and are very willing to be equal partners with the Labor governments.
They've also rejected suggestions from some industry stakeholders that it could take decades to move to a plantation-based industry.
What we need is a constructive approach, and a 30-year time frame is not in the spirit of that agreement.
The union representing forestry workers says the spirit of the agreement has also been tested by Forestry Tasmania, who yesterday announced the immediate closure of some logging coops. The union says it wasn't consulted and it's attracted some unlikely support.
We'd prefer to know that it is happening, and unions clearly would prefer to know that it's happening.
Forestry Tasmania, I think, genuinely want to show the Tasmanian community and environmental groups that they do want to act with goodwill.
The goodwill was felt by a cross-section of environmental organisations who gathered to show their support for the Statement of Principles. But in Scottsdale, the mood was less buoyant, following the announcement that Gunns sawmill will close. Workers and the council again expressed their anger over the loss of the mill's softwood resource 3 years ago.
I reminded them that I, as Minister, have no influence effectively over the decision-making of a commercial body.
But country sawmillers in Tasmania are hoping for a brighter future through renegotiated wood supply contracts.
And we'd hope that the planners will take this opportunity to create a more equitable distribution of the wealth of the industry.
But it won't be clear for some time yet who will be the winners and losers in the forestry reforms. It could take 12 months of negotiations before the agreement is implemented and compensation flows. Fiona, Blackwood, ABC News.
Thanks very much.